Ladies and gentlemen, Keiki here. Welcome to the Daily Update. Hope you guys had a good day trading today. Market is up about 1.4% there. On the S&P, Nasdaq is up 2%, semiconductor 3.5%, Dow 1, Russell 2000 2%. Same with the transport. Biotech made a move 2.7%, home builders up 2.3%, retail up 2%, similar emerging market there. Looks like, we got the banks and the energy and the healthcare and the utilities. They're the laggers with today's big, bright green day. Looks like most of the indices were up close to 2%, with some index such as like semiconductor being up more than 3%, right? Bitcoin is up about 2.3%. Gold, silver miners are up a little bit, down a little bit. Dollar down, oil up, treasury bond slightly up. VIX is down about 7%. Let's stick with S&P 500 ETF. Spider, 65-minute chart here. So this is where we closed yesterday, and this is where we opened up. So we actually saw a gap up, a sizable gap up there. What happened though, when we actually saw that gap up, it gapped above this down gap right here that occurred back in early, when was this? February 3rd. So that was actually, what was it? That was actually Thursday. It happened Thursday, last Thursday. We saw that gap down here, right? You can see that. That's a gap down. We gapped up above it. That's a textbook island bottom reversal gap up. But here's one thing that you guys might not know about why what bulls have done entire today. The intraday, the trading session today, what bulls have done, you do not understand. This was something desperately what bears didn't want to see. You see, when bulls gapped up here, they didn't gap above the entire down gap. You see, the down gap actually happened at 457. Right? Remember, they gapped up at 455. So when the bulls gapped it up, there was this down gap still remaining open. If this morning, when the gapped up happened and then the price faded back down, leaving this down gap open, that would have been extremely vulnerable for the bulls. Bears would have eaten bulls alive. Because, I've seen this kind of a scenario where that's why on the last night's update, you guys remember I proposed the fact that if bulls gonna gap it up, they need to gap it up above 457 to make a clean kill, right? Because you know what bears don't want to see, right? What bears don't want to see is and gapping it over. Because if we see something like that, well, the game could be over. I'm not sure game will be over. For the bears, turn this into an island bottom. Right? So when we gapped up here underneath the down gap, I was wondering if we're going to actually fill that down gap. Because if that down gap, the entirety of this down gap, if it isn't filled, bears are going to come out with some kind of a panic attack in this desperate need to preserve that little bit of that down gap that wasn't filled, that open. So this was extremely important for the bulls to get up there, fill the entirety of that down gap on today's trading session after gapping up. Truly, with today's move, victory has been achieved for the buyers, and this is exactly what the bulls needed to do, right? Not only that, bulls were able to protect this gap. That means this gap has been sustained It has not been filled. You can see there's a couple times during intraday right here and right here. You see that lower wick? Bear trying to bring it down, trying to eat away from that up gap that happened this morning. Bulls made sure to protect that, especially, when the gap gets filled, it usually acts as resistance, though we could continue to see that level act as resistance, but it's not as strong resistance when the gap is fully filled. It's going to act as instant resistance, but not a strong resistance. If we do have island bottom right here, we talked about my short-term moving average supporting the bulls. My short-term moving average is rising. It's been doing it for about a couple days. So sentiment was turning bullish, but with that gap up and the island bottom reversal pattern, bulls are starting to establish its own uptrend here. You can see we got these higher lows and higher highs. However, we have another down gap that bears are working on. Bears are not going to go anywhere yet until this down gap is filled. Keep in mind though, my mid-term moving average and the long-term moving average is residing just underneath that gap area. Just make sure if bulls gonna come, trying to open that front door, we got the short mid-term moving average and the long-term moving average guarding that vicinity. You can see how this is strong pivot. It does have impressive resume. That long-term moving average, right? It's been acting as a pivotal level. Came down, hit that, got up. Came down, hit that, tanked. Came down, hit that, tanked again. We're back at this level. We do have this is a triple resistance, right? We got the gap area resistance. We got the midterm moving average, that purple dotted line here, resistance. We got the long-term moving average. So we got triple resistance. However, you see bulls are gaining confidence and they're leveling up here. Bulls acquire island gap, right? With the short-term and the micro-term moving average supporting the bulls, and with that higher lows and higher highs, they have all the momentum on their back. So right now, who do you think feeling the pressure as of today? Things change pretty quickly, right? Because yesterday, or just a couple days ago, it felt as though bears are gonna bring it down hard. But the way bulls made a move today, we can all see that bears are sweating here. Bears must. If you're a bear here, you want to see lower prices, you must protect this gap with your life. If you don't, bulls will find a way to get to the new all-time highs. That's what they do. They're experts at this. They've been doing this over a decade. They know how to do this really, really precisely and really well, especially when you have the momentum on your back. So I think just the way the market closed, pretty strong. I wouldn't be surprised to see another gap up. Can we actually witness another island gap here, gapping up above this down gap, making it secondary? I don't think. I've been doing this daily update analysis for you guys since the COVID lows, right? I've been doing these daily videos since the COVID lows. I don't think I've ever seen this happening where we see an island gap and they see another island gap next day. So very rare occurrence. If we do see something like that, it's like hitting quads in poker, right? The quads I do, sometimes you do see those quads when you see them. But the island gap, another one after today's move, I have to say this might be a straight flush if we do see it. But regardless what happens, bulls need to get up here and fill this gap as quickly as possible. We got triple threat here. Bulls got all the momentum. Bulls got these weapons with the island gap, with the short-term, mid-term moving edge, and the development of this uptrend in the short term. And this is the battleground right here. See this right here? We got bears hanging around, right? In this vicinity. And they're gonna try to bring bulls. That looks like a bull. I was trying to draw a bear. This is the vicinity that the bulls need to reclaim and overcome. This is the level where the bears need to protect. Let's check out that oscillator and see if we can extract any more information. So the oscillator is definitely advancing. Remember we talked about this, that this would happen, right? The thing about it is, we're not fully oversold yet. We're very close though. So bulls are starting to get tired here. Bulls made a lot of effort from coming from here to all the way here and use most of its energy. This is why I'm suggesting a gap up, because can they really push another day up, thrust above the midterm and the long term and the gap area with a little bit of energy left? Maybe even gapping up above. We don't even have to gap up all the way to the top of its, gap area. Even gapping up above the moving averages, I think is very much helpful, because then now you don't have to worry about those midterm and the long-term moving averages, jumping over those, and then start worrying about filling these down gaps. I'm gonna come back for you. We'll reassess the situation. Enjoy your evening and good training tomorrow.